we are super excited to be back. It's a new series for August. If you do not know, you're going to know now. August is Black Business Month, and we are going to be doing a series. So many different entrepreneurs are going to be joining us over the next 4 weeks, actually four specifically. And we are going to start out with Chad, who just joined us. So yeah, let me see, Chad. Let me see if I can invite you. So Chad is going to be kicking us off, and each week we are going to be doing.
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited. It's Black Business Month. All
Yes,
month.
yes, yes. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me.
Yes. Thanks for kicking us off. Thank you for always saying yes. You're always so supportive. I appreciate you. I'm like, Chad, do you wanna? And you're like, yeah.
Anything for you, Beth. You know that.
Thank you. Anything for me and relationships and business, right?
Yes, you know
Yes.
that.
So I'm gonna send this. I'm just gonna kind of like send a quick invite to people to join us. I don't know if you want to do that on your end as
Yeah.
well, but yes, we are going to be talking about relationships in business. Let me tell you, Chad, why is it that every time we go to business events or just even just regular events, people are always talking about their professional goals, but never their personal goals? What's up with that?
When it comes to business events, they want to keep it business. They don't want to talk about the personal goals and development.
Yeah, I have this theory though that the two are related, whether we want to admit or not. But you might disagree with me.
No, I definitely understand. There's correlations.
Yeah, I just think, at a point in my life when I was really insisting on not forgiving someone, my business actually started dying. And when I started making changes in my personal life, my professional life, my business, my photography business started coming back. So, yeah, I think that is, so important.
What's crazy? A quick story.
Yeah.
Um, Someone I know had hired a coach or not a coach, a recruiter for a job.
Okay.
And as she was going through her resume and what's going on with her job market, the recruiter stopped her and said, "You know what? You may have to find a therapist to help you because some of the personal issues is showing up in your career." And she didn't
Huh.
understand. She said, "I want to keep it separate. My business stuff I had to work
Yeah.
on, as far as my personal thing, I didn't know how it goes together. But like you said, that stuff that you holding on, that grudge you holding on, the way you feel about yourself, it shows up in your business."
It does. It shows up in how we interact with people. If we are not trusting ourselves or we're not trusting other people or we're cheating on our spouses or something, we might not be a good business partner fit.
Yeah, but a lot of people want, like you said, a lot of people want to keep it separate, but it intertwined.
I think it's intertwined. So I had this conversation today with someone. I think we'll start off with that because it was really troubling to me. And he's like, well, I think I want to do this business. It's a great idea. It's like just such a great idea. But, the person who would be the business partner has anger management problems, like flares up, not really trustworthy. This person said, oh, when I have ideas, I jot them down, but I don't share them with the partner because I don't trust. But he's like, the person doesn't have a good reputation, but it's such a good business idea. So, I don't want to miss out on a good business idea. And I was like, you might want to consider your business partner like you would consider your spouse.
Because you know what I'm saying? That's a reflection of you. No matter how great the idea is, when you have the wrong partner in that business, it's going to spoil you whatever the gain is. It's not worth it if you don't have the real conversation about how they show up. So if that person is
Yeah,
that horrible person, they may not be the face of the company.
true. Well, what would you say, Chad? What are your recommendations? Like, how would you look for a good business partner relationship?
Like you said, it's one of those things where, like any relationship, you really want to get to know the person and their goals. Is
Yeah.
they trying to be just trying to get a quick money scheme, or is there something they really
Mm,
believe in? And as you see in their stories, people tell themselves all the time if you listen. You
yeah.
hear their stories about how they use entrepreneurship, how they use businesses, and how they treat people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Observe. Maybe have a business dinner and see what that
Yeah,
person does. Just
and
like you'd
even a
have a
business dinner,
date.
like you said, see how they handle the waiter, right? How they handle the
Yeah.
waiter, how they handle people that may not feel like need nothing from them, how they treat them, because that shows up in your business.
Yep. It does. They say you don't know someone really until you've either lived with them, done business with them, or traveled with them.
Because it mirrors you. It mirrors who you
Yeah.
really are. It's like when you see someone living with someone, traveling with someone, you see different sides of them.
Yep.
So a lot of time, I always say, anytime, or by collecting data, it's really trying to see, can I trust this person to do business with, and have
Yep.
that relationship with? Because, like you said, it's a marriage.
It's a marriage. It might be harder to get out of than a marriage too these days.
It's definitely it's definitely those moments in those relationships where you really understand. You have to really, even though how great the idea is, you really have to know who you're talking to and what their goals are, and are we aligned? Like I always say, alignment is the
Yeah.
assignment. Are we aligned about what this goal is and what's the vision for this company?
Yeah. Are we aligned? So, I know you're famous for getting people rings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking you can get us a couple extra zeros in our bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you feel? Let's talk about like relationships with ourselves. How do you feel we can become better in business? Like, what aspects of ourselves do you feel like we should develop? Like, if I was going to have a better relationship with myself, what would you say to me in order to grow my business?
So what I do with anybody, right? Anything is about rebranding yourself. What is that vision you want to see yourself? And now we
Hmm.
have to work on the things that the uncomfortable conversation to try to become the version of yourself you want to be, that business entrepreneur. So basically the rebranding. So once you rebrand yourself, what that how that looks, how that shows up, and that's part of that doing the work. And doing the work can be therapy, write some of the journals, even you with the prop journals and forgiveness,
Hmm.
like doing these things to show the healing so you can show up a different
Yeah.
kind of way to the public. So that's very important. And when it comes to who you are, is the rebranding of the version you want to do and how you get there. And not just feel like I got a great idea, but doing the internal work is very important. Because
Yeah.
when it comes to businesses, you're going to have the bandwidth,
Hmm.
and you're going to be stressed the way you never been stressed before. So if you don't take care of yourself,
Yeah.
mind, body, and soul, you're really going to struggle when it comes to growing your business and scaling it.
Yeah, because it really takes a lot of grit. Like you have to trust yourself.
Yeah, because doubt comes in, imposter syndrome sneaks in. Like you really have to figure out what is your goal, what are you trying to do, and really believe in yourself. And part of that is falling in love with yourself, doing the work, so you can show up a different kind of way and attract the clientele that you want. Because people aren't gonna believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? So that kind of almost reminds me, you're talking about like changing, like rebranding ourselves. So that's like we're evolving. Like you're
Yeah,
not just being like slapping something on. What do you think of the phrase fake it till you make it?
I think it's something to it, right?
Uh-huh.
Where you have to really almost, what I do with a lot of women clients that deal with that
Hmm.
part is I have them write down who's the version they want to become,
Ah, yeah.
how they look, how they smell, how they interact, like everything from that details. So
Yeah.
therefore, you have to walk into that mode. You're gonna have to become that person. So fake it to
Yes.
make it. I get the cliche of it, but it's really about believing who you are
Yes.
and start doing the steps to becoming that version. Like so, if you have
Yeah.
a mentor or not, if you don't know the mentor personally, who you feel like you want to be that person, and then
Hmm.
be, basically train and work on becoming that version of yourself, a better version of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one step at a time. I love what you
Yeah.
said, like maybe have a mentor to do it or like a coach like you. And yeah, I think yeah, it's part of our relationship. So who you want to become as a wife or as a just a woman in general or a man or a husband, but also as a businesswoman or a businessman, like have that vision. Like think it through. Like really, what would you smell like as a businessman? Like it's a really great question, but you're thinking you're breaking it down into like the little um
Nuances.
things. Yeah, the
That,
nuances. We
And like you said before, a lot of times we have to start small. So that part about who you want to become, how you look, how you want to represent your business, what that actually look like. Are you married to the business in the sense of is it becoming your personality, or is it something that is a business you want to scale and sell? Like you really have to be specific with the
Yeah.
when and how you move accordingly.
Yes, that's true. If I want to become a real estate investor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get in and out quickly. Or if I want to be a breakthrough coach, I'm trying to like hang around, right? So yeah, probably do a little different self development.
Yeah, and it's about being honest, and I think that's a part of
Yeah.
it is being honest with yourself and what you need to work on, your muscles that you need to work on to become that version you want to become. But like you said, it's growing to that, not just faking it and lying and telling people dreams,
No.
but really doing the internal work to become that version. Because with businesses, you're going to have the grit. You're going to have to be a little more of a shark. You're going to have a little
Yeah.
bit more of selfishness in the sense of that business. That if you're not really that person or even networking and going network events. If you're not able to have that elevated pitch or really showcase who you
Yeah.
are, you gotta do the work.
Yeah. It's true. An elevator pitch. But you said something just now. You said the shark, right?
Mm-hmm.
They ask questions. They want to know data.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about this the other day. Well, a couple weeks ago, I started tracking some like data with like number of calls I book,
Yeah.
ratios of like sales and stuff. And that I haven't done before, not tracking in that way. It sometimes doesn't look good. I had a week where I was like a 0%. I was like, oh, but that's the only way I
But
can grow.
even that, what made you want to try to check data that way? What made you even want to think that try something different or really try to collect data?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where my gaps are. And like,
Okay.
yeah. And I think that when you figure that out, it's not fun and you get answers you don't really want. But that's the only way you can grow. And I think that's also true in relationships with dating, or even once you're married, like asking those questions, getting that data, tracking it. I told someone the other day, you have to run your relationships like a business.
Well, it is though. Sadly, I know people hate when I talk about the business, but it's part love, part business. Whoever you decide to be in relationship with is your co-founder, right? Is your business partner. So you really have to be understanding for and look at that business side. But I was talking to
Yeah.
somebody the other day about even today, this morning. This morning I was talking to somebody about back to the business concept. You have to who you are when no one's looking.
I'm sorry, say
So
that again, please. Who you are when no one's watching?
with no one watching you, right? And that
Yeah.
concept, because a lot of times people want to be entrepreneurs and be business people, but at home you're doing other things. You're not really working on your business.
Yeah.
So you have to be honest with yourself about how you showing up, man. Are you really doing the work to really show up for your business?
Yeah. 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 Are you your own best co-founder?
Yeah.
Would you hire you? Would you hire you as the CEO
Yeah.
of your relationship or your business? Like, would you?
And that's why even with that CEO, people don't understand the CEO is a person that have to find the right talents around them. So you may not have to be the smartest person in the room, but
Yeah.
like you said, your weaknesses is either you're going to work on these strengths until you can hire somebody, or you're going to hire someone that's stronger in those areas and learn from that.
Yes.
But yeah, you got to really be honest, and that's why I said that transparency. A lot of people get insecure with that because they don't want to be honest with how they show up.
But it's okay. Because what
And
happens when you're not honest? Chad, tell us what happens.
you sabotage, and those things do not grow. So if you're not honest with yourself about what you need to work on, you're going to start victim blaming the world.
Yeah.
You're going to start having these kind of insecurities, and then now you're going to try to figure out the world out against you, but you didn't really do the work.
Yeah.
But yet
Oh,
then you can complain. Man. Some people like to play the complain or the world against me. What do I always talk about control the controllable. What are you doing? And like you
yeah.
said, if you have to find a mentor or read or find other ways to strengthen those things you're weak at, then it's part of the investment.
Yeah. I had speaking of the world, and like you said, the world, people might think the world's against them, but the world's not against you, I don't think. And I heard some businessman recently say that the world will give you what you accept.
Mm. Well, like you said, it's not what you when the whole saying is not what you worth is what you negotiate.
Yeah,
So that's
that is
part of it.
true.
Like what you put out, what you get in return. So if you're trying to focus on titles. I'm the CEO of a business, but you don't run nobody. Nobody, like, you're not really a CEO. You're an army
No.
of one. And some people like to feel like they self-made, but also understanding you have to find community and how you really show up in your business. And then if your business is not working well, what you need to tweak and be honest with it.
Yeah. You know, that made me think what you have to tweak. So a lot of times we have this idea of what our relationship or what a relationship even should look like. And we
Mm-hmm.
have like an idea of what our business should look like. And then we try to do it all or we try, but maybe that's not the point. Maybe that's why we have a partner, either in business or in a like personal relationship, because someone has to help us.
Yeah. And like you said, that transparency is scary for a lot of people. And a lot of people want to do the quote unquote work, but they mad that they don't get the same results. You keep on dating the same kind of person, or all the businesses, they have all the great ideas, but now the execution.
Hmm.
You have all the ideas in the world, but what are you doing to execute those ideas to see how you follow through? Win, lose, or draw. And a lot of people struggle with that because they're not really honest with it or try. They just stay in the
Yeah.
planning stage and not really try to understand what they need to grow to go to market, so to speak.
So, what would be a tip or two you would give someone who doesn't really know how to go about growing? Like, they're like, I know I have these problems. Um, I'm trying to do too much in my relationship or my business,
Mhm.
but I don't know how to stop doing too much. What would you
Well, like I said,
suggest?
this is a part of, I tell people all the time, is there's different ways to do it, right? You got to identify it first. So you have to really be honest with yourself and try to see what is your strengths and weaknesses. So I would say write it down,
Mm-hmm.
the strengths, things you want to work on, voice note. Like, find other
Oh,
ways to work with
yeah.
you, because sometimes even voice notes, you can say something in a voice note and then listen to it back and be like, okay, like it's almost like a someone telling you else the story. And you be like, oh wow, now I'm listening to it back. That do sound crazy, or that sound like a good idea. Like, so find other tools to try to figure out how to flush this idea out. And then once you're able to
Ah,
do that, then you're able to now to figure out what do you need to strengthen it. You go YouTube Academy, you could go read books. Like, there's other things, and this world, ChatGPT. There's so many things you could do
yeah,
to try to fine tune it, so you don't have to feel like you're there alone until you have someone else that want to join your journey and believe in your vision. So I think a lot of times it's
yeah,
sitting down with yourself and really trying to figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are, or talk to friends and family. What about your business idea, and have them have that kind of back and forth with you to try to see,
yeah,
are you a person that always have all these ideas, or this is something that you really want to try? And those questions that
yeah,
people need to ask. Because one of the things about me, I'm all about accountability. People
yes,
understand, they come to me, I'm gonna hold you accountable, and I'm gonna kick your tires. So you have a great idea with me. My job is to do that. It's like, what about this? Do you ever think about this? And then it's not quote unquote fun, but I'm asking these questions
yeah,
because you have to think. Like, even when it comes to your audience, I know you want to
hmm,
please everybody. But one of the things you have to figure out, who's your niche, who's your audience, and now you got to build your avatar, and now figure out who these people are and how you introduce. Because even when this whole social media world, we got to now also talk to the audience.
yeah.
So if you don't have a niche, or you don't know who you're talking to, you do not know their pain points or how to say this service is going to help them. We're just saying it's for everybody. I want everybody to win. Like,
Not everyone wants it. A 3-year-old is probably not interested. Well, maybe they are if it's like something squeezable and fluffy or,
and even that
yeah.
is also understanding. And one thing I want to talk about when it comes to relationships and business, your friends and family may not be your clientele, and you have to be okay with that. So
Yeah.
you feel like a lot of times people hold grudges with it because they like, oh, they didn't repost my thing, they ain't buy this product. You may not be the audience, and
Yeah.
also you also have to accept the fact that if you do hit it big, they're gonna tell you, I always knew you had it.
They are. So don't be bitter because it's just how they are. They were sitting in the back, probably going, yeah, this is going to flop. And now they're like, yeah, I knew you always could do it. That's okay. Let them be.
It's the truth. Like, you have to be understanding that part. I think a lot of time part of growing pain,
Yeah.
also trying, like really trying to do different things and try and see what works. But like, I think that really sitting down to figure out what this audience is, what you're looking for when it comes to relationship or business, what is you really trying to, your goal is, and also trying to figure that out as well. So I think a lot of people struggle when it comes to that business model and understanding doing the work, sitting down, knowing the audience, understand friends and family, you're not going to be the biggest fan,
Yeah.
supporter, because you know the hope if you build it, they will come. But you really have to understand. Listen, I'm going to have to do this alone until I find my tribe and find my new audience.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
someone was doing more of the health conscious kind of thing, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
listen, you're gonna have to build that audience. Your friends and family may not be into that world, so you
Right.
now have to create your own new community, your own new tribe, and it's okay. They could join if they want
Yeah.
to, but you can't get mad when your friends and family not showcasing you because you're doing something that may not be their demo, or they may not be unaware.
Yeah. No, it's a really good point. Just because it interests you, or maybe they are even interested, but maybe they just don't have the desire to do whatever. Like they might really be rooting for you. You
Yeah,
just might be like, I'm not really fond of having an apple a day, so I'd rather have a Cheeto a day. but but Ms. Sorry, on track with Ms. P said that part, and Haitian founder said facts. But yeah, I love that idea of even just like using a voice note and playing it back because then you can kind of hear like, oh no, that does sound like a little crazy. Um, or no, really, that is brilliant, you know, and like even journaling can
yeah.
do it too, because then you can read back and you're like, oh, this is kind of coming out all over the place. Maybe I need to settle down and like organize things a
And I
bit
tell people all
better.
the time, it's about trying different things. So, like you said, journaling, writing it down, voice notes, going to a coach. Like you have to find so many other things to see what works for you. Like therapy may not be your thing. Working out may be. Like you have to find basically mastering yourself. You got to find different things that work with you. And now you want to be an entrepreneur. You got to understand it's a different kind of animal, and you have to make sure that you understand what it takes, the grit, and also how to pivot and how to adapt. But if you're not working on yourself and being the best version of you, you're gonna crash your burn a lot of times.
Yes, so get your relationship right with yourself
Yeah, gotcha.
so that you can take those hits as an entrepreneur because they're going to come. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to really be strong within yourself, however that looks for you. Haitian founder said, should you pursue your interest or pursue passion?
Well, I think it depends on the person, right? So I think that when it comes to sometimes we got natural talents. Some of us has got some natural talents. They be like, "Yo, this is great. I may have to figure out how to way to monetize this." And there's some things that you may be passionate in it, but you need to do more research. So I think that the great thing is doing something you love. That's always be
Yeah,
the creme of the creme.
it's
But when it comes to paying bills and doing something, you may have to now split in two. But I think what happens, it depends on what is your end goal. If your interest could turn into
mm,
passion to make something you monetize, great. But if you could still try to find that interest, you got to realize, is this a hobby or is this something I can actually make a business out of? Because if it's a
yeah, the
hobby, then
end
cool,
goal.
keep it as a hobby. But if it's
Yep.
something like I can monetize this and really understand a system that could be in place, then that interest could now be the passion and the monetize it. It all depends on some hobbies, just hobbies.
Yeah. I realized I don't really have a hobby. I try to monetize everything that is a hobby. I need to just find a regular hobby.
But nothing
Haitian
wrong with
founder.
that. Like you said, nothing wrong with that. Like you
No.
you got these talents, right? You're a photographer, you do so many things. You're like, yo, I can monetize all these things and be that's how entrepreneurship look like, right? But now
Yeah.
you understand bandwidth and time and avid.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. It's always good to that'd be the great thing if you take some of the talents you have and monetize it. You know what
Oh
I'm saying? You
yeah.
do something free. Anything you could do, you should get paid for it. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It sounds like your response helped Haitian founder because he said thank you and now he's laughing. Um, but yeah, I agree. Keeping that end goal in mind and that kind of what you just said makes me think about that for our conversations with like people who we love.
Mm-hmm.
What is the end goal? Do I
Mm-hmm.
really want to piss this person off? Is that my end goal? Because I have done that. And I think I need to, I think I myself
Mm-hmm.
need to keep that a little bit more in the front of my mind. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I really don't. So yeah,
And like you said, that's why frustration comes in, clarity need to come in place. So a lot of time us trying to hurt someone or try to cause chaos, so to speak, is because we're overwhelmed or we feel away and now we gotta
yeah,
lash out. We're not, we understand life is life and when someone show you who they are, believe them. Like you said, when it comes to
Yeah.
business and relationships, if you feel like that client is not the strongest client in the sense of they not going to pay you or they're going to drag their feet, then you may say no, thank you.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh
one of those things
yeah.
where it's times where you realize someone may not be coachable or whatever service you've given, they
Yes.
just try to lip service and try to drag it for get some freebies all the time. And you got to create boundaries and say, listen, thanks but no thanks.
Thanks, but no thanks.
So just like dating, like you want to be with someone that you realize that they breadcrumbing you, and you going to say thanks but no thanks. Like I really see that my value and who I am. I'm not going to chase it. So I'm not gonna chase you for the money.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna chase you for the love and affection. I realize that we may not be aligned, even when it comes to clients. When you do the discovery calls, and that part
Yeah.
of it, discovery calls, is me trying to see this is what I'm offering. This is what you need. Can we work this together? This is my fee. And then if
Yeah.
they're not, yeah, it's okay. But sometimes we get so dire need for that win, we start commenting like, I said 200, but how about $100? Like you just try to get a
Well,
homie discount off the shrimp because you want that win. But sometimes you gotta be clear about what you're looking for. And if that person's not aligned with it, they ain't come back later, or they wasn't your clientele, or the person you need to be in a relationship with.
yeah. Like I wasn't even thinking about it the money perspective, but yeah, I was thinking more of like, don't make promises you can't deliver as a
Mm-hmm.
business person or as a relationship partner. Like, and you should even do that to yourself. You know, like, can I really keep this promise to myself? Like, if I registered to run the New York City Marathon, am I really going to run the New York City Marathon in November? Absolutely not. I haven't jogged like a kilometer yet. You know, like, you have to be honest.
And like you said, and as part of that, sometimes we want to over deliver for the sale. We'll do this, and
Yeah.
that. So no, we gotta be honest about managing expectations because also
Yeah.
that's why as a business owner we gotta wear so many hats, and one of it is customer service. So we gotta let them know if there's an error or the timeline change. We gotta communicate that instead of having the client chase us. So
Yeah.
sometimes we gotta get ahead of things so much. Like you said, that's part of what kind of professional you're gonna be. Like a lot of time, most businesses, no matter what you are, is word of mouth. So
Yes.
if they can't trust you or recommend you, it's because they do great work, but they told you gonna happen on Thursday, not gonna get it till next week. Like you gotta be
Yes.
understand, honor that and get ahead of it. Like, hey, listen, just this happened. They're gonna be delayed. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but you try to duck them and
Hmm.
hide because you're overwhelmed. They're gonna look at you like, I can't recommend you anymore.
No, yeah, I try to like, it depends on how I am, but I'll be like, it'll be a week or two before your photos are delivered. I really try to lower their expectations. It takes the pressure off me. And also, like, if something happens, I like to get them their photos a little earlier than
Of course.
promised. But yeah, I think over promising in either a relationship or in a business, you just end up becoming exhausted and you can't sustain it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really popular, and I think then we'll wrap up after this. But I'm curious because we've kind of talked about it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
in a way. So it's really popular now to say how much value you can add. Like how many, like in my business, I want to add value to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus having a transactional relationship.
Yeah. So far as
Yeah.
the pitch,
For a pitch or just like in general, like it could be like from social media with where you're like adding value with your social media posts. It could be if you're having an event and the value you're trying to add versus like adding value but like doing it in a transactional way. How do we like really get out of like a transactional type relationship? I think a lot of people have transactional relationships
well,
sometimes.
that's yes, that's the nature of the beast, right? A lot of it is transactional. I think when it comes to value, I think when it comes to networking and working together partnerships, I think that's where we show value, right? We show
Hmm.
value given what we give to the people, right? So like you said, social media, going to panel discussions or whatever, like well, something we charge, something we don't charge, right?
Yeah.
That's how we show value. And then from people, they're going to now see your value, and
Yep.
therefore they will be more inclined to really listen to your business.
Right.
So when it comes to whatever you pitching right now, everybody do master classes and stuff like that, where you have to show up and give them people something. They
Hmm.
be intrigued enough, like, listen, I want to hear this person master class or to get the pitch, right? So
Yeah.
I think adding value is basically doing that. Is what value are you really showing up and give to the people before you
Hmm.
start asking for money.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you gotta now build trust and build community. Like I said
Yes.
earlier about relationships, you want to build your new tribe. So whatever your business idea you have, who's your audience and how they're going to attract it to you, and then from there you have to now grow it out a little bit, and then figure out how to scale that business. But if you're just going out here like, listen, this is what I do, bang, pay me, like, like, because people ask the question like you said in all businesses, like, who are you? Who are you, and
What?
why should I listen?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to showcase that where this is my testimony, this is what I did, this is what I built, and this is why you should listen to me. And I'm giving you
Hmm.
value just off this content on social
Yeah.
media. I'm giving you value when you watch my free masterclass, and then when you invest in the pitch later, you be like, all right, this worth the price. Or word them out, like, hey, Chad does this. Chad helped women get rings. How old
Yeah.
is that, Chad? 36.
I was
Okay.
gonna say you're into the 30s now, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
36 right now. Yeah, so I'm saying, like, what happened is from that on, and I tell people all the time, yes, thank you. That's good for testimony, but the
Yeah.
36 rings is a byproduct of a woman loving herself.
Yes.
So there's a caveat to it, right? So it's like, yes, but
Yeah.
once again, there's work still to be done. It's not a magic wand. And I think a lot of times people, businesses, they want to tell people it's a magic wand. And I tell people all the time, there's work here. When it comes to coaching, when it comes to managing artists, like all the stuff I do, there's work here that's not going to be a magic wand. So I manage the expectations. So like you said, with photography, like, yo, listen, make it in 2 weeks, and then they get in a week, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
nice. So I'm letting them know,
They're
like, hey, listen,
excited.
you're not going to get a ring this year, but we're going to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take care of where you at, build your confidence up, how to date, how to vet, and then they get it early, like, thank you, traveling. Oh, okay, cool.
I love your posts. You're like another one. I love them.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is about. We have to stay in community and building each other, and everybody trying to feel like, even networking, they try to get somebody above us. We also get network within our circles, and then that could help business and build trust. But a lot of times people want to just skip to the good part and try to talk to Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry and then call it a day. Like, there's steps to this.
There's steps. I think a lot of times, in order to do the value in business or in a relationship, you kind of have to let go and forgive yourself or the other person in part, but just like kind of like let go of those disappointments. Because if you're focused on like last time I gave all this information out on a panel discussion, or last time I gave all this to a man or a woman and like I got burned, like you kind of have to let that go. Because if you I personally think that if you don't let go of those disappointments, those hurts, then it makes it very easy to like kind of move over into a transactional business or relationship situation versus just showing up and giving value again.
Yeah, because you build a war.
Yeah.
Because you said the hurts and disappointment, you build a war, and not understand that. Listen, what you give to the world is going to get back to you, right? And what happens is some people that don't like that, then that's just all them, right? A lot of times people get so caught up in they've been hurt before or this person did them dirty, and understand what is the lesson learned here. And now
Yes.
how to learn from that lesson instead of letting that be your old identity to try to treat
Yeah.
everybody like the enemy. And if you're trying to build any business, you still going to need community.
Of course. Oh yeah.
So if you have that bitterness in relationships, like you should still look at love as a beautiful thing. You just have to understand that no matter how dope you are, you can't force it on someone. So now you learn. I try to audition. This person ain't work. Now when I date, I got to make sure it's reciprocity that they giving me as I'm giving you. That's all. So I
Yeah.
think a lot of times people get caught up in that. One time they got burned and got hurt, and now they move it differently automatically. Like, from
Yeah.
now on, I'm not doing this. No, you have to
Yeah.
understand lesson learned, and now what's the lesson? And some people don't want
Yeah.
to understand and also take accountability of what role they play
Yes.
in that.
Yeah. That accountability, that responsibility. Oh, let me see. Um, on track with Ms. P said, Issa Rae talked about that build across before you go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you
Okay.
want to skip to the
Yeah.
good part. They want to talk to Easter Ray, right? And like I said, like, we have to work with people around us and build off that. Because also that friendship and that community is going, like, we're going to need favors.
Yeah. I think though, like when I have shot like people who are well known. It never did anything magical for my business. People were not like ringing my phone up constantly because of something. So I think, but I get referrals from people all the
Yeah.
time. So
And word of mouth, right? They know you to be, yo, listen, somebody just, because what happens is in people's brain, when they think about photography and stuff like that, you automatically come to mind. So they're going to have, oh, I got somebody. And people love that too.
yeah,
People would like to have someone to recommend. And it hurts me sometimes too when I have people that I can't recommend that have a business and it comes up in a conversation like, oh, I need such and such. And I'm like, because I can't recommend them because for whatever reason they're not going to deliver the way they need to deliver, and then now my name is
uh,
attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I love when I can recommend people. Like I got
yeah,
someone have my same dentist. This person have the same person that does this. Like I like that because that shows value too, right?
yeah,
Being resourceful helps. But if I
yes,
can't recommend you, it hurts me too because now I feel like a hater that I can't recommend this photographer because they're bad.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it
yeah.
definitely hurts. So that's why your branding and how you show up for people, it affects.
It definitely affects, which is like that building across, like on track with Ms. P said. Yeah, and like you were saying, like it's so important because those are the people who are going to refer you.
Yeah.
Like Oprah's not going to be referring you. Like she's going to forget all about you 5 seconds after the interaction. Well, no, I don't know. Never
No, I'm
mind.
saying,
I'm not
but
going to
this is
speak for
general.
her.
Like
But
we have to understand we have to start somewhere. And I think
we have to
sometimes we get
start.
so caught up
Yeah.
in that dream that we gotta first this person gonna hear this song or this person gonna see this shot and they automatically gonna love us and then every the phone gonna ring. No, we're gonna have to start doing almost I tell people any dating or whatever, we gotta start grassroots.
Yes.
We have to
Yeah.
build that foundation. We have to do that work, and then from there, build scale from there. But you just try and jump to the good part. You're not going. And what happened to you get successful, right? What happened? You make a
Yeah.
post, it go viral. You know what you're gonna do after that?
But then you don't really have a story.
Yeah. So you
Like
go viral,
people will be
cool.
like, "How did you do it?" And you won't even be able to give any advice on how I like had a multi-million dollar sale of my business to an investor. Like how like it's like a very boring story. And same thing for a relationship. Like those struggles. That's what like if you make it, you look back on and you're like, "Hey, look at we made it through this. Like we're really a team."
Yeah. So like I said, a lot of times you have to understand that part where wherever it is for any kind of relationships, they're gonna be work.
Uh,
There'll be sacrifices, and then we gotta be honest about who we are and how we want to show up, and work on what we can work on, and find someone we're aligned with for our relationship, or who we align for who our clients are.
yeah.
Because you never met your client, then it's like how you know what your client needs or wants. You don't know
I
your
don't
client.
know. I
It's
don't
face
know.
value.
I take a phone call this morning. I had like a nice 40-minute conversation and we planned out a brand shoot. Got to talk to people.
Yeah.
You want to know how you're going to do it? You got to talk.
Yeah. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's very important to build that community and start from scratch. And I think a lot of times people like want to jump the gun, but like you said, it's some love in that and building it from the ground and networking with people around you and find that tribe that's into what you want and not compete, right? So if I'm a photographer,
Yeah.
it's okay to know no photographer and
Yes.
talk and network and conversate. But a lot of people are like, this is my, you want some of my ideas? No, like it's abundance. What's yours is yours. Your eye and my eye is two different eyes, right? Or what we do
Yeah.
is two different things, but we can still network and build for each other. So if I can't do a
Yeah.
shoot, I can call you. So a lot of
Yeah.
times it's not competition. It's we may have the same niche, but we should learn from each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We
So,
can do that.
yeah,
Cool. And you can
and
do
that's
that
how it
in your
is.
regular relationships. You can learn from each other. You do not have to know it all. You do not have to have it all together. I think
And be
that's
a
the
competition
problem.
with each
People
other.
think they have to have it all together, and you really don't.
And be a competition with each other. Like we don't have to.
You don't have to. Haitian founder said, "True, no competition." Yeah, yeah. You just
Yeah, like I
gotta
said,
let
I'm
that
friends
go.
with a lot of people. Like me, I manage artists. I'm friends with other managers. I'm friends with other relationship coaches. It's not a,
Yeah,
oh my God, this is me. You stepping on my toes. All right, it's not that serious. Like, what's for me is for me. What's
yeah,
my audience? My audience. People may like my voice, or they may like a woman voice. Like, I never feel away. My biggest thing is
mhm,
long work get done. Like, I don't have to get that part, right? So it's like understanding networking, and part of it is I may do something that you may be the best at, but yo, you need yo best shoots. if she did this, you got to shoot like, you know that, and that's
Yeah.
okay. But a lot of people want to be
Yeah.
sticky with it or resources. I've never been a gatekeeper, so it's like, yo, if you know how to do something, I help. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're good with that. Yeah, you are. Cool. So, okay, Chad, before we end, people need to know how they can get in touch with you if they want support with either getting a ring, or just, relationships, life coaching in general.
Well, all social media, Chad
Yep.
Scott here. So all social media, Chad Scott here. I'm still doing one-on-one coaching, but I'm going to have to transition to do more group stuff.
Okay.
Once again, we talk about bandwidth and scaling, right? So now
Yes.
understanding that, and now I have to take a step back because I realized that I'm going to have to start creating products soon. So I'm like, so right now, if you want to hit me, Chad Scott here is where is that, and I'm always open. DM's always open. I always have a conversation. But even with that, it still come with homework. So it is what it
It's
is.
going to come with homework. It better come with homework. Otherwise, what are they doing seeing you
Yeah,
for help? You do not have a wand over there
yeah.
fixing people's problems. They got to
Gotta
do
have a
it.
homework. People think like fix this. No, all right, you're going. But a lot of times I tell people all the time, a lot of times it's you. So I can't sit here and do that conversation. I'm gonna have to. You're gonna have to do the work.
Yeah. You got to
If you
do
don't
the
want to do the work,
work.
I'm cool. I ain't gonna lose sleep over it. But yeah, there's work here.
Yeah. There is work. Although I might go to sleep soon. All right. All right. Let's see. On track with Ms. Pieces, we've been waiting. I guess she's been waiting for the group coaching because she also says, hurry up.
Yes. I know. Cause one thing with me, wrap it up. One thing with me is like I like to be behind the scenes. So it
Hmm.
forced the world pandemic, this relationship coaching stuff forced me to be in the front. So
It did.
I'm getting adjusted in the front person. So now I know I'm switching brain from managing artists and managing and being behind the scenes to being in front. And I'm like, all right, I know it's me time I need to sit down and create products. So,
Yes.
so coming. I got it.
Yes. Develop out your brand.
Yes.
I
But
love
thank
it.
you, Beth, for the opportunity. I
Oh my
appreciate it.
gosh. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate your time. This was fun. It's always fun. For sure. We'll see each other soon.
Yes. And tuning in for everybody else coming up the rest of the month for Black Business Month. I'll be tuning in.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited. Yes. All right. So, yes, we have next week. Every week we have a different entrepreneur from a different industry. So, we're going to be helping you all scale no matter what your industry is. But I thought this was really important. Relationships is kind of like a basis. And if we don't have our relationships right with ourselves, others, or whoever we're doing business with, I think, in my opinion anyway, none of it's going to really work. So,
Relationship 101.
relationship 101.
Thank you so much, Beth. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Yes. Have a good one.
Later.
Good night.